I'm feeling a little unproductive today, so I figured let's sit down and talk about it. Here's a chat for anyone who's feeling like they might be in the same boat. So let's see. The last week I have worked 60 plus hours, and I've just been really tired. I work at a floral shop. It was Mother's Day, so I was working every single free moment that I had, which was great because I love my work. I love what I do, and I really enjoy it. But then when I got done, I was like, wait a second. What do I do? Like, I didn't really know what to do anymore because I was just used to always having something to be working on. And it's the first moment since I got out of my classes for the spring and that I actually have a chance to kind of sit down and be like, oh, it's summer now, which is just really crazy to me, I guess. I am taking a class over this summer. I started my semester. I started a semester late because I took a medical leave my first semester. So I still have some classes over the summer, just one class over the summer. And so I still have things to like keep me busy and I'll be working and stuff. But I'm realizing now, wow, I have more time than I am used to and I am just feeling a little unproductive right now. And I used to feel this way even during the school year as well. So it's just kind of how I am, is I feel this way pretty often because I know myself and I know that I am an overachiever and I know that I get wrapped up into the hustle culture and you have to be doing something at all times, you know? It can be really draining, but I have found a few ways to help myself. A lot of times when I'm feeling unproductive, it's also because I'm feeling really unmotivated. I just kind of want to sit in bed and do nothing all day, which, in all honesty, we all deserve a day or two like that every so often. Like, I think that is something that is really important, to be able to just have nothing planned for the day, which is really nice. But sometimes it gets to be a little bit too much, and I'm like, no, I really do want to do something today. And in those moments, some of the things that have kind of helped me is trying to find a hobby that I can pick up easily, that doesn't take a lot of mental work, because in that moment I'm feeling unmotivated. I don't want to do anything. I just feel like sleeping, right? So what is something that I can do that is enjoyable but not really taking up very much mental work? And sometimes I like to watch a show, but I end up binging the shows and then I just still feel like, like I did nothing today. And sometimes it's not that I'm actually feeling like I need to be productive, I guess, or like getting a bunch of stuff done, but it's feeling like I need to be doing something to at least stimulate my brain a little bit, or at least keep me a little busy other than just watching a show mindlessly all day long or sleeping all day long. And in those moments, what I have found, and my own personal thing that has been kind of a like, oh, I get to just do what I want to do something fun, but it doesn't really use my brain that much, has been painting. I have a paint by numbers thing that is humongous, and there's no way I'm ever going to finish it in like one day. Like, I've been working on it, I think, like a year now, and I don't pull it out very often. But when I do, it's on those days where I feel like I need something to do, but I don't want to use my brain too much. Other days, if I do feel like I can use my brain a little bit, I'll do something like reading, or I'll maybe go outside and just like relax in the sun instead of just being in my room. Or maybe if I have the energy, I'll go to a coffee shop and get myself something exciting, right? And I think a lot of times when we don't feel productive, it really comes from either telling yourself that you're not being productive enough or a lack of motivation. And that's where I really think that your surroundings are really important to how you are able to kind of get yourself up out of this rut. And all of this to say, I want to be clear that being unproductive is not necessarily a bad thing. It's when you're feeling unproductive and you don't want to be, right? I think that we have such a big hustle culture and this idea that like we have to be doing something at all times, or we have to be being productive at all times, or we have to be just getting things done and contributing to the world at all times, right? And I don't feel like that's true. At least personally, I wish that we didn't have that mindset around a bunch of things, but we do. And so the first question to ask yourself before doing any of these things is to really be like, why is it that I am feeling unproductive? Is it because, like, have I actually, a lot of times when I am feeling unproductive, I have actually done so many things that week or that day, and I just kind of ran out of things to do, and then I'm like, no, I need to be doing something though, right? So like I did all of my assignments for the next week, and this does happen all the time for the next week, and then I'm sitting there like, wait, what do I do? Because I did all my work already. And I could, clean the dorm a little, and I've done that before. Or I could, go out and record an episode or things like that. Like, there's always things I could do. But, like, people ask me, well, why do you feel unproductive? Like, what have you done today? And I'll give them this entire long list of things that I've done. And they're like, girl, take a break, Like, I worked 60 hours last week and have been also, trying to stay on track with my class, and also stayed up late last night with my family, which I'm very not used to. I've done a lot in the last week, but I feel like I should be doing more. And that, I think, comes from this false belief that I should be constantly doing something to keep my mind busy. And it's not that you need to be keeping your mind busy. It's that, sometimes you have to be able to learn how to find peace in the still moments. And I am really bad at that. And I've been working at it, but still very bad at it. Some of the things that have helped me to find my way there has been honestly making Pinterest boards or vision boards or decorating my space in a cute way that makes me feel comfortable, things like that. Because when I'm feeling unproductive and unmotivated or just bad about myself, what helps is sometimes to have these little reminders around me of like, this is what peace feels like to me. So I have talked about this on the website before. I don't know if I've talked about it in the podcast, but I do make monthly Pinterest boards. And if you are subscribed to the newsletter, which I'll put in the description below, I do include the monthly vision boards there for inspiration or just help for people. But why I do it, it's been 4 years now, I think. 4 years, and I've never missed a single month. And why I do it is because I have found that it is when I'm not feeling well, or when I'm not feeling motivated, or I'm feeling bad about myself, going back and looking at all of the pictures of my life or of just things that I found online that really brought me peace or made me happy, or the quotes or the just aesthetics, things like that just made me feel like, yeah, this is the life. This is what I want to live by, Going back and seeing them reminds me to take a breath and reminds me, I don't want to be living that hustle culture anymore. And so as of right now, which this could change, but as of right now, my Pinterest boards are looking a lot more like hanging in with a nice drink, or going out with friends and doing something fun, or being outside, or painting again. All of these different things that just remind me to connect with my inner child and to slow down a little bit. And having those reminders motivates me to keep going and to remind me that it's okay to take those breaks. And the same way goes with the way that I have my space decorated. It reminds me, I am a big plant person. I have so many plants hanging out in my space, and they bring me a lot of peace, and they remind me, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but just having an aesthetic around you and having the way that you frame your life, if that is something that resonates with you and motivates you, you're setting yourself up for a more positive mindset and success in the future. For example, when I am trying to be productive and getting things done, and I have a planner, I could buy a cheap one from online or Target or anything. And I almost did, but instead I decided to go for this brand that I really love called Paper, I think. I don't know. And I got a $20 planner instead of a $5 planner. And it's lasted me years, so it was worth it in that end too. But it was also worth it in the end of this planner really set me up for living the life that I want to live. It has gratitude in it. It has just an aesthetic of this is what I want. It's clean. It's a cute little thing. It felt right, and it made me feel motivated to be productive, to get things done. And I do think that, we talk about aesthetic and stuff like that all the time online, and I think that it goes overboard all the time. But I do think that, it's there for a reason, because my life aesthetic is what motivates me to get the things that I have gotten done, to do the things that I do, to have this podcast, to live the way that I want to. It all motivates me. And that's something that even people close to me have pointed out, of my whole life just is I have this aesthetic for it. And I don't necessarily try for that, but it's just I found what makes me feel the most comfortable, and I stuck with it. I ended up building this framework that people are that's Alessia, I really do believe that your surroundings can help you. So today, if you're feeling unproductive, ask yourself why. Why is it that you're feeling unproductive? Is it because of a false belief, a limiting belief, or is it because you really do feel like you have stuff that you need to get done? And then what can you do to just start off just a little bit? What is something small that you can do to get something done that's not going to feel like it is this huge weight over you? And then what is something that you can do right now so that the future you, who's also feeling unproductive, can come back to it and be reminded of all of this? That's what I like to do, even if it's as simple as writing yourself a little note or something. So there are my thoughts. That's what I'm doing today, and I'll see you next week.